What's good, people? Welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing pretty cool holster. So it is going to be, if I can find the order, it's a right-handed thigh rig, but it's actually not going on an RTI plate or anything like that. It is going to be a QLS holster, which I just had the QLS out and apparently I misplaced it. But anyways, this is a Sig Scorpion 5-inch with rail, obviously, and it's with the Streamlight TLR one. So we are going to be rocking that. It will have a hood, and I pulled an RTI 34 plate, but it's actually not going to have the RTI 34 plate because it's going safariland. So I could just bring that back. Before I placed the QLS system on my website, you had to kind of request it. So, but now I have these guys, so you can request them if you want them. So this is gonna be fun. This guy is going to mount right here, and then we're gonna have the hood right above it. Should be fun. Let's get this going. I just want to kind of peek what this is gonna look like real quick. So we're gonna have this here, and this right about there. It's okay if this goes over it. It's okay if it's under it. So, but that's gonna go pretty much right there. So I am looking forward to this build. I think it'll be pretty sexy. So let's get our widgets out. Doing shells all day. Finally back to production. All right, so mount that in there. And just as a warning to all you benders out there, the Sig Sauer line of molds only fits the Sig Sauer. Well, I guess in all technicality, you could probably use a Sig Sauer for a Springfield, but you cannot use a Springfield for a Sig Sauer. So it just does not work that way. See, Sigs have a square frame, so it is going to be completely different than any other one out there. So if one of your customers asks for a Sig, you better make sure that you have the Sig that they're asking for, because otherwise they'll be in a world of hurt. And they have random sizes too, like they have a 4.2 inch, like who does that? Apparently Sig. Alright, so there we go. So there. We're not going to worry about blocking the safety and the slide release, because the blocking for these guys is actually going to block all that, so don't need to worry about it. And if you don't know, you're not aware, holstersmith.com actually sells the plates that we're going to be using. So this is actually for the safariland. You can see it reaches down, and this will also fit blade techs and combat loops and tech locks and all that stuff. So again, that's going to go right here, and then we'll have to build up underneath it. But that is a little bit later. Next one after this is a dual layer holster that I'm doing for a gentleman's wife. Good friend of mine, used to go to high school with him. And also, I just remembered this, another thing to take in consideration on the right side of the handgun is the takedown pin that actually goes there. So what I do is I have a piece of fiberglass that I just put right there, and it opens it up big enough. So there's no issues. Another thing that kind of stinks too is that 1911s, they're such a skinny frame. You know, the slide's so skinny, so the flashlight is at least twice the size of it. So the holster is always going to look funky. Alright. One thing we need to do is, before we do all this stuff, we're going to put the sight channel in. Now I just got to grab that. There we go again. If you're actually not familiar with my sight channels, it's a little dowel. I cut it out so the front of the sight, the post fits inside, and then I ground down a flat spot and just sanded it down so it doesn't roll. Because before, it used to roll. Now, it does not. I'm just gonna make sure it's good. Just throw it in tight. Right. Molds everywhere. I'm working on another large order. Alright. So, bam. And because this is going to be a thigh rig, a Safariland attachment, we are doing a taco style holster. So we're going to do one large retention plate, which is going to be nice. Don't need that. We'll need this. So, because we're doing this, we need this blocking, and we'll do that blocking. So, we will find out where's a good spot for this. You got to take in consideration the hammer, because you don't want that to be cocked and then doesn't allow it to go in here. So, we're going to keep it just behind the beaver tail. Alright, so we know it's going there. So this is going to go here. And then what we need to do is we need to build up all this material right here, because otherwise it's just going to, and then it's just going to work like crap. So what I personally do is for stuff that's large like that, I'm not going to build up material, but what I'll do is I'll use a post. So we'll put this on here. Alright. And bam. So hold it with my dad bod. And I'll go cut that. So, cut. We'll check the spacing. Oh, that's perfect. So that's one's gonna go there. One's gonna go there. And voila, you can see that. So, what you need to remember is once they're in, to tape them in place, because they will move around on you or they'll fall out. Okay. I got the fire going on in the garage today. It is extremely comfortable in here. It's so nice. I haven't lit it in probably a month or two, just because I don't want to waste firewood or anything like that, and I've just been either bundling up in here or we're using propane heat, but whew, glad it's getting better. Alright, so for spacing for this guy, we're going to cut another dowel for this too, but we're going to have to set up and see what the spacing is on it. It's probably going to be just about the same. But we'll set that up here. That's actually pretty good right there where it is. So, okay, so we know the top of this is going to be flush with that. So the mounting, It'll be right about there. Just mark it so we know. Because we have to, like I said, have to build it up. Alright, so get this, we'll get the dowel. Perfect. That's all I need. Besides a new roll of tape. Ah, no, I hate this tape. Don't tell me I got all that tape. Damn. Alright, well, luckily we won't see this. If you use this type of tape, sharp lines, it actually will transfer the wording onto the inside of your Kydex. So that's sharp lines, that's sharp lines. Oh, crap. That's sharp lines. There we go. Original. So, original. So now you know not to buy that one. There we go. That's more like it. Hopefully I can find the receipt so I can return them or swap them out. Alright, we just want that so it doesn't move. Because if you don't anchor that, even though this is going on top of it, it will still move. And then it just creates a pain in the butt for you. Okay, so square that up. Next, we're going to take this, bend it around so the pivot point is this third hole right here, the one on the top. So we'll take that, and where this hole is right here, that's where you want it to line up on the other side. So I'll take my pencil, we'll line it up there. So it's actually going to go right about here. Because I had it down a little bit. You want it as flat as possible. See, that's perfect. So it's going there. So you're going to take this. This is going to go right here. So this guy, we need to build up just like that. Make sure there is material of the firearm behind your blocking for the hood. If there is no material behind it, then what's going to happen is when you draw and or reinsert the firearm, what will happen is you'll scratch it on the bolts, and you don't want to do that. So by having material behind it, it will give you enough room to get past that, which is nice. So this is fully blocked out now, and now the only thing left to do is the retention plate. So luckily, I know I was out of it, so I went and bought some 2x4s. Next time I'll probably cut them first, but it is what it is. So again, this is 1/4 inch MDF. You can find it at Lowe's, Home Depot, or any place like that. Trace the entire outline of the firearm. Give yourself a couple inches all the way around. Label what it is, and then cut it. Alright, so I did 4 pieces of foam. This is what it looked like. And this is what it looks like now. How pisser, look how wide that is. But how pisser does that look right there? That's nice. Nothing moved, everything stayed in its place. The sight channel looks good, it's gonna get cut there. Oof. Oh, baby. I like it. I love it. Alright. There we go. I'm going to take all this apart because we'll need the gun. Bam. All right, so sleeves up. Now it's right here. I like it. Retention. Retention. Right. And it's always tricky, you know, how you want to shape your holsters. But generally, you know, if the flashlight extends past the muzzle, then, you know, I just go straight up. But in this case, I think what I'll do is I'll literally just angle it. So I'll come down, angle it that way. It's either that or we go up, over, and I just think that's going to be not too many cuts, but I think it's going to be too many edges, and we don't want to do that. So that's good there. We know we're going to come up right to that, because this little spot right here is what's going to stop us from scratching our firearm. Let's see here. We know the chamber's here, chamber's there. So I believe, I'm not sure if this can get an RMR on it, but just in case. And we'll follow it to this side. This side I actually do by hand. And then this is going to come down like so. Yeah, so it'll be shaped a little bit differently, but that is okay with me. Get that out of there. I'll go ahead and drill these guys. Alright, and just to reiterate, my retention holes are 7/32. So that's what I run So that's the only hole that needs to be drilled in this entire holster, is all 7/32. There's going to be one here, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, and then those 2, and those are the only ones, so should be good. I'm going to cut it, sand it, clean it up, and then we'll be back to assemble it, and then go ahead and check it out. And then shortly after, I'm doing a 365 dual layer. So should be cool. Let's check it out, and we'll go from there. Here we are all cleaned up, and we are going to throw this lady together. So we're going to start with the hood. So I always start with the hood because it kind of sets the precedence of everything else on it. So because you don't know how high we're going to have to do that, or if we're going to mount it pretty much flush without bushing. When you tighten these, the top one, do not tighten all the way, because that's the pivot point for the strap. And if you tighten that all the way, it don't move. Ask me how I know. So you'll figure it out when you go to test it, and you're not understanding why nothing's working. So what I do, obviously it has Loctite on it, and I just put it so it's snug. And then I check it right after, and that seems good. So now that after that's all set, we're going to go ahead and throw this on. So it looks like we need the hardware for it, but let's check out what we need first. We're just going to do 1/4 inch. Yeah, not going to do Loctite on. I mean, you can if you want, but just generally the end user would be best to do the Loctite, because the Safariland fork has adjustable cant on it. So if they want it adjusted how they want it, then they can go ahead and do that. Also, when you buy full kits, it usually comes with the bolts that are large enough to fit in there. So I went ahead and that's what I ordered. Although it does come with an Allen wrench, but I seem to have misplaced it because I'm just that good. Where did that go? You can, however, use the normal stuff, but you can see how much room it has. So there's that one compared to theirs, which is full. So you don't want to be running through the woods and have that net snag on something and whatnot. So once I find those, then I will be good. Figures. I put it with the rest of the hardware. So what this is. We might go with 1/8 inch ones. Let me check those first. Yeah, I think 1/8 inch would be better. Say, come on, we have the technology. Get this last guy on. And from there, it's literally set the angle you want, put it in the center, and bam, that's it. Now, what I'm going to do, move that up, let's get the retention out of the way. and give it a check. Perfect. Alright, and we'll go ahead and mount this guy. So there's a couple of things you can do. I sometimes mount holes on it, so you can, like, the end user can adjust it, but that's really not needed. So we're going to go right there. Clean the hole. And deburr the inside. I actually just ordered a new tool. It's a deburring tool that you slide in the hole and you spin it. And I'm going to see how well that goes. I think it should be cool. We need another 1/8 inch bushing. And what we're going to do, slide that through. Install the bushing there. Got Loctite on this guy already. And you don't want to go too tight. Also, you don't want to keep flipping it forward and back, mainly because this will rotate and then it'll unscrew and then it'll be loose. So I give it a check. It's pretty good. Go ahead and squeeze that together. And there we are. Hell yeah. I like it. Happy bending. I'll show you a quick tip too. If you have an RTI holster that like what you're doing, and the RTI and the hood are very close to each other, what happens is the RTI wheel pushes against this. So when you open it, there is 0 flex in here. Okay. Now, since we're doing a different setup, I went ahead and I made this plate. You can see this plate right in here, right there. And all it does is it bolts to these 2 holes, and then it bolts directly underneath all 3 of those. And what I did is, it's basic physics. Now, there's 0 flex. Well, I mean, obviously there's going to be a little bit of flex, but now there's no flex. Because before, the amount of flex that was on this would cause this right here, over time, to break. So, by adding this piece here, which you will never see, and plus it's blended in with the same color, it adds that much more, so you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So this is going to be absolutely perfect for the gentleman who would like it, and you never have to worry about it coming back or breaking.